Welcome to the RPG Podcast.
And we are live.
Oh, God, Patton!
Presented by SHEATH. A Time Wheel production.
Now, I actually just took some Kratom. This episode is sponsored by SoapCorner.com, my Kratom supplier. Definitely check them out if you like Kratom. Very good. Welcome, everyone, to the Robert Patton Global Podcast. We are
Welcome, everyone,
back.
to the Robert Patton Podcast. We're back.
We're back.
I'm just going to be your hype man. I'm going to be your hype man. You go for it.
I'm the Notorious, and you are my P. Diddy. Flavor. We're back, people. Another episode, and we're back with Leo Savage.
Leo
Urquitas, the OG,
man.
Steel Mace Flow master. You guys know him probably if you follow us. You've seen him. You should be following him. He's been doing it for quite some time. The Steel Mace Flow king of the world. He invented it. You invented it, and I see people on the On It page, including yourself, using your style. It's alive, you know. It's pretty badass.
Thank you.
How's it going? How are you doing? How's it going?
How am I doing? Yeah, good, man. Good, doing real well. I think most people can relate to I wasn't doing so well, but now I'm doing well. It was a tough year. 2020 was tough.
Yeah.
There was so much good in 2020 that I'm good now, but I do recognize that 2020 was a motherfucking challenge, boy. I mean,
for people that have to get out to perform their profession, you had to stay home a lot, I guess. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, we usually teach. So for those of you who don't know, I own a business called Steel Mace Flow, and in Steel Mace Flow, we express ourselves in fitness. I mean, that's kind of a good gist of it. Is if you're having a bad day or a good day, a lot of times you go to the gym with that vibe, and you deal with that shit. And Steel Mace Flow is that focus of how to deal with your shit while moving, and not just the bad shit, but like the good shit. It should be celebrated. So dealing with that, the good stuff is just as important as dealing with the bad shit. But 2020 was a tough year. I did not get to travel the world and teach mace, man.
Yeah,
that is like one of my favorite things in the whole world to do, is to teach people the way that I view and see fitness. Man, this shit happened to me the other day, Robert. I met a girl, okay? The story's not about the girl, but I got a hug from her.
Love a hug.
I just remember, like, the hug. I was like, oh, man, this is a good fuck. This might be top 10 hugs I've ever had.
Wow.
And you're probably thinking, oh, man, she must be a great hugger. Or I wonder when the last time this motherfucker got a hug was. Dude, I went 8 months. I did the math. 8 months. No hugs.
Jesus, Leo.
I used to travel the world collecting hugs, man. People just put their hand out. Hey, Leo, nice to meet you. I practice Steel Mace Flow. And get that fucking hand out of here. And I give him a big hug. I travel the world giving hugs, heart to heart, full-bodied hugs, and, respecting everybody's boundaries and understanding what's going on. People stop making eye contact. People stop talking. People stop opening doors for each other. Can you believe that shit? Social distancing.
That's so
It
gross.
made it hard to be a gentleman.
I'm still opening doors for people. I know, because I go. The only place I go every day is the post office, and it's a fucking. You got your mask on, and there's an old lady. It's like, I don't know. I'm still opening doors. I'm not going to be that guy.
I respect that. I don't want to make anybody feel weird.
There is that though.
My reasoning for that. But things have changed. There have been some doors open. There have been some strangers that I've had conversations with. So, things are doing better. What's that? Is that a mask?
Yeah, it's my Chibi Chew mask. So I'm social distancing from you right now so that you don't get your
voice sounds better with that on.
Thank you. Sound like a bandit. Maybe a
Yeah, man, but
bank
things are
robber.
good, man. But I did go through a bit of a spell, and I think you brought up, we're talking about success, and what are some things that we can do to help those things happen, and this is a great time. Uh, Coaching has turned into this wild west. Coaching used to be this
Tell
thing
me.
where you go get certified, you go to school, you do all these things, and then you would coach people. But now there's so much of a want um, for personal development, like getting through this year. Like, how do I deal with all the shit that compounded over the last year? There's a lot of these lifestyle coaches, life coaches popping up, and man, it scares the fucking shit out of me, man. You can take a 45-day course, and then after that 45-day course, you start taking people through shit that is way out of your league. I've seen people take literally a 45-day course and then ask their clients to dive into their childhood and relive past emotional traumas, knowing full well that they don't know what to do once those things are brought up. So it's fucking scary, man.
Wow.
And so if you're out there and you're receiving coaching, you're going through a hard time, you need some emotional help, and you get that fucking message in your Instagram box, hey, you want to make $10,000 a month? Join my coaching program. Learn how to reconnect with your spirit. You got to really be careful, man. It's like one of those letters you get, the email, hey, your uncle died, and we're going to send you $5 million. It's not true. All right. These coaches need experience. They need schooling. They need proper schooling before they uh, take people on these journeys. Hey, if you're going to invest in yourself, you're probably going to invest in some coaching. Make sure you invest in a coach who has some fucking experience. And that doesn't necessarily mean he's got all the letters behind his name. He's an MD. He's a doc. But experience is important. Nobody taught Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee just made Jeet Kune Do up. He wasn't a
Hmm.
doctor. He was the king of cha-cha. And that doesn't discredit his experience, his life experience, and what he taught. And so, one of the things I noticed in these mentorships, these group coachings, is people going through the coaching process start to turn into the mentor or the guru.
Hmm.
They start walking like him. They start talking like him. They start wearing short shorts. They start wearing weird sandals. They start drinking the teas they drink. They start reading the books they read. And that all sounds good. But you know what happens when you start acting like other people? You inherit their problems.
You lose yourself too, but or whatever. Continue. This is interesting.
So if I had this coach, when he's like a communication coach, I can help you out with anything. That type of guy. He got divorced. This
Poor
is a guy
communication.
giving relationship life advice, and he can't keep his marriage together. Guess what happened? I'll tell you. You don't have to
Please.
guess.
Thank you.
The people who were following him and imitating him, guess what happened to them?
They got divorced?
They
No.
got divorced, they got separated, and not only that, but they were applauded. They were rewarded. They were further indoctrinated into the fucking group. These groups are expensive, so you're spending a lot of money and you're detaching from your family and you're picking up values that aren't your own. It's called imposter syndrome, and it is a very good way to get hurt. And so, I was part of that. I was
Whoa.
pretending. I was picking up traits from my guru, and I slowly started to absorb his problems. Dangerous stuff, man.
Yeah.
So that was the part where I was doing bad. Started losing relationships, started in using the money I had put together to get further education in the same system. And the further I got into the system, the further away I got away from myself, and the more I started acting like these other people. And it hurt. I had an identity crisis. It's very uncomfortable to go through. A lot of people right now are losing their identities because job misplacement, having to move, not being able to hug people for eight months.
Wow.
And so a lot of people are going through this shit, and when a lot of people need help. And so we have to qualify the help that we're getting. You don't have to, but you could take the road I took, and I can tell you that it's painful and it's expensive. And more than all that, the toughest part is being forgiven, because you're going to have to make some apologies to the people you stepped over along the way, or stepped past, or the relationships that you set aside so you could follow the leader.
Fuck, dude.
Boom! Let's open up this podcast. Let's go.
Austin is weird, dude.
It's not Austin, man. It's the whole world.
No,
It's
I'm just
everywhere.
messing. Yeah, I was just joking. That was just
It's everywhere. Think about it. You came to my Steel Mace Flow course and you said,
yeah.
man, Leo's cool.
Yeah.
I
exactly.
started saying what the deal is because of your influence. I started talking like you. How cool. We pick up each other's habits, so you have to be careful. What habits you're going to pick up?
Who you hang out with. That's a very good point.
With.
That's one of the principles of success, is like choosing your friends wisely. I mean, and you want to choose people that are kind of going along the same path as you. And it sounds like this person who you were following had what you were looking for, at least on the surface, and you were trying to choose your friends wisely. That's why you choose a teacher, because you want to improve yourself. Right? And but sometimes people are full of shit, I guess, or have their own issues, and it sounds like it's easier to fix someone else's problems than try to fix your own, ergo the divorce. And then when that happens and he's the example and people start following it, he just kind of seems to like run with it and say that like that's a good thing, somehow spin it in this weird positive
I hate
way.
that, man. Let me tell you about how much I hate that. All right?
Yeah. Tell me.
Check this out. Robert, I'm so sorry about your breakup. I know that you didn't break up, but this is a conversation we've had.
Right.
But look at you now. I think that is the worst fucking stupidest ass friendship, backhanded insult you could ever give. I went through an emotional torment, and my friends said, you're going to learn so much from that. I'm sorry that happened, but you're going to be so much better on the other side. I believe that I'm going to make it no matter what. And I don't need pain or discomfort to get where I'm going. But that's just the process of life. I hate it when people celebrate the thing that happened to you, that negative thing, because they think you're better for it. Motherfucker, I was going to get here regardless of the breakup or the car wreck or the accident. Nothing's going to stop me. And so I'm not happy when my friends go through pain, especially when they think there's going to be enlightenment on the other side. One of my least favorite things to hear from somebody, and it really makes you think about it as somebody's going through a process, because it's very easy to say, oh man, pain and discomfort, new age thinking. There are healers and our teachers, and they teach us a lot. Well, if that's the truth, then why are we staying out of harm's way?
Right.
Why aren't we purposefully going out there and fucking ourselves up? You know what? I'm in a perfect relationship. I have the perfect job. I want to learn something about myself and be enlightened. I'm going to end my career and break up with my loved one. It will hurt me so bad. And I'll be better on the other end. Nobody's doing that. That's crazy.
Did you there's a Netflix documentary with Tony Robbins, and it's called I Am Your Guru, and like in the documentary, he has one of the ladies call up her boyfriend who's holding her back and break up with him over the phone in front of the crowd, and he kind of like bullied her into it, like do it, so because he's holding you back type thing. And that just what you're saying kind of reminded me, like he's the ultimate guru, if you will. And there's, I don't know, the only guru I like is Jesus Christ, baby.
Hey, I think I think that's a good place to start.
I don't know.
But you should. I mean, do you really want a guru, or should you be your own guru?
Yeah, I mean,
You
Wim
should be
Hof.
you should
I
be
love
your own
him.
guru. But
I
when you go
know.
to a Wim Hof course, or when you go to a Tony Robbins course, your responsibility is to yourself. It's not to them. You should go in there with a strong moral compass of who you are and take from some of the lessons and add them into your life. I guarantee you, if I took a Tony Robbins course, I would find things I disagree with. And I would celebrate that. And that helps me see Tony Robbins or whoever the speaker is as a real person. But if you get into a practice and everything the person says you believe and you relate to, you are turning them into a guru. You are putting them on a pedestal. There's no way you and me have everything in common. We should have disagreements as friends. We should see things differently as friends. And so the same thing when it comes to a mentor or, a coach. Like, hey, how's your coach? I love him, but he smokes cigarettes. I would never smoke cigarettes. But I love everything else about him. And he drives a Hummer. I would never drive a Hummer. Those things I don't like about him. I would never do those things with him. But I read his books. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really get it. I've watched this documentary, another one called Into the Wild, I think. It's about Osho.
Yep.
Great documentary. And so do you get, did this guy have that thing that Osho had where you get like high when you're just like around this, like the person, they have this presence that's so like this, their aura is so powerful. You being in their presence is like just, blissful.
Those trusts are built up really small. Like, I don't know much about the practice of Scientology, but I do understand that you get some information from them as like an introduction. And if you do that information, what you'll see is monetary success. Hey, do these things and you're going to make money. Okay, cool. No investment or low investment, and then I get a return on my investment, which is good. And so a lot of times that's how the relationship starts. There is a reward for listening to them. And man, I listened and I made some money. And so then it became, what else do you have to say?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have more to say, Leo. Okay. And it costs more money. Oh, okay, great. Hey, the first program cost 10 grand and I made some money. How much is the next program? Well, it's $50,000 for the year. And you're going to get a bigger investment because it's more. And we've already established this relationship. There's the monetary, and then there's the tribe. Everybody wants to fit in. Everybody wants people. And so when you go to a packed auditorium and everybody is looking at the singer or the priest or the talker, there is a vibe that is created in the room that you can't help but feel wrapped up in. And how many of us have seen the speaker or the talker or your coach or your teacher and said, I want to be that guy when I grow up? Now, that didn't necessarily mean, hey, I want to turn into Tony Robbins. But I want to be the person talking. I want to be the person helping. I want to be a good dude. And something happens to normal motherfuckers when they get money, power, and followers. You start looking at yourself different. You start thinking different. I'm a pretty to the earth guy, but this is something I experienced. The more money I got and the more followers I got, the more full of myself I got. I started to believe what people thought of me was true rather than just my opinion.
Trippy, dude. Yeah. I mean, like, because I'm going through something right now. I don't know exactly what it is, and not to turn it around to me.
It's always about you. It's your show.
That's very interesting. Let's talk about me now.
Yeah.
But no, on the same vein though, like, because we're becoming more successful, and I mean, honestly, I don't even know what to do about it. I mean, I'm kind of very surreal, and I don't know if I'm changing, but you kind of, how could you not, right?
Did you get a Tesla?
Yes.
You fucking changed, man.
Come on, the Tesla's cool though.
No, I'm not saying Tesla's bad, but there was a time where you didn't have Tesla money. Now you got a fucking Tesla. And so the money in your pocket changes things, like consequence. Like there was a time where I prayed, like, man, let me just get to this next paycheck, and please God, don't let me get a flat tire, don't let my windshield bust, man. And if I get a parking ticket, I'm not going to be able to eat. And then I got a couple of bucks in my pocket, and I was like, whatever, flat tire, I'll buy 4 new ones with gold rims.
Exactly.
And so the your position changes you, and of course your resources change the way you react. One of the ways that I've helped relegate those emotions is by helping and by giving.
Absolutely,
And
I would love that. I want to talk about that. Yeah,
that is the thing. And this is in the same lines, and we'll switch subjects to that. But I know a lot of healers, a lot of people that are healers, but I don't know anybody who's healed. I know a lot of like dudes who have been all over the world and seen all kinds of things, but they're not healed. Being healed or healing is a circle. It's a practice. And so there you are going through the healing process, and you make some monetary gains, you make some business gains, you make some relationship gains. You can't stop the practice of healing. And so I'm at a point now where if there's the healing I do to myself, like taking care of myself, eating right, yada, yada, yada. And then there's this bigger scope of what helps my mental health out, and it is helping other people. And so for me to continue my healing process, which is this never-ending circle, I love circles, I pour into people. I help their problems seem as big as my problems. Which, by the description I just gave with having a little bit more coin in my pocket, my problems aren't such a big deal nowadays. And so helping people get to a place where they can have the same security in dealing with their problems, it's important. And if I ever, there's this guitars for vets. You can buy an acoustic guitar for $250, and they'll find a vet who's dealing with PTSD who needs it. And so anytime I start feeling that type of way, if I don't have somebody directly to help, I have charities that I help and give to. And it's such a awesome feeling, man. Like there was a time in my life where, and I'm going to talk like 2006, 2007, I had a suit and tie job, and I was making good money, and I didn't have any free time at all. Just worked and made money. And then I'd have one day off, and I would go like purge the money looking for healing or so. I didn't know what the fuck I was looking for, but I felt like if I spent the money and bought things, maybe it would help. And in the same way, rather than buying the Dolce & Gabbana watch or the gold 20-inch Dayton's for the Impala, I don't have one of those, but how cool would that be? I help people. And it is a satisfying feeling that carries over. It is a very beautiful and healthy practice to learn how to give and when to give.
Well, so I wanted to chime in because they say if you make like $70,000 a year, you reach like the amount of money that you need to reach like a kind of peak level of happiness related to money. If you make double that, you're not going to be like twice as happy and so forth and so on, 10 times as happy. But I started thinking, but what if you helped 10 people? What if you helped 100 people? Does helping people make you happier, and does it can you become happier by the more and more people you help? And I want to, with our money, and I didn't buy myself a Tesla, I bought my wife a Tesla.
I know.
I still have my 2004 Lexus, but I'm going to get one soon-ish. But I'm, and as Sheath grows, Stacy bought her parents a house, kind of, with her other siblings, and but it's it's got a warehouse in it. They're gonna like work for Sheath. They're gonna ship packages. So her parents are gonna have like employment kind of from Sheath. So we're like helping them, and we help these dogs. And, we always fostering these dogs and stuff. And I want like 5 years ago, I think it was 2015. I was in the kitchen at the San Antonio house with my friend Nick. We were talking like, what would you do when you become successful? And I was like, you want to help people, but who specifically? And I talked about animals. I guess my point in bringing it up was to pose the question to you, though, because like money isn't everything, and money helps with stress and anxiety, not necessarily happiness. And so it's like, what is the key to happiness? And you just basically said it, I feel, with helping others. Am I right?
Yeah, it is the thing that makes me the happiest and fulfills my life the most. And it is the thing that if I don't practice, I get further and further away from that healing process. And so I start taking steps back. But there's something to that, like that you got to have a little money.
Couple bucks helps.
Got to have a couple bucks. I mean, you could just totally help people out. But as I look at Tony Robbins, what's Tony Robbins drive?
Probably a bunch.
How many mansions does that dude have?
Yeah, too many.
But if he's the dude, then why does he have the things? Can't he just be happy helping people? I mean, I'm sure he could get on the phone with the electric bill company, and he might owe them some money, and he might be able to like coach the bill collector a little bit and make their day better. But she's going to say, pay me. So you got to have a little bit of money. And money. Yeah. Name somebody who's really woke, who doesn't have a mansion or fancy car. It's part of it. They say money can't buy you happiness. Check this out, bro. Look, watch this. I bought new teeth.
I'm trying to get that too. Nice. Looking good,
buddy.
son.
Dude, I never have smiled this big. Money doesn't buy happiness. Look at this fucking smile.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I have it.
Nice. I like that. Nice.
Yeah. So, they say color doesn't matter. Tell that to a fucking gold watch. Okay?
Yeah.
It makes a difference. All right? So there's truth to it. We might want to get away from some people might want to money's not the root to happiness, but like you're pretty happy when you
they're the ones sitting
rent.
on the most of it who say that because they're trying to divert your attention that they have
or get you to buy their program.
Well, you're making me nervous because I would want to go to a Tony Robbins.
Be fucking nervous because when this conversation needs to be had. I'm not saying don't go to Tony Robbins, don't join self-help. I'm saying be yourself when you go in and be yourself when you go out, and realize that these pitfalls happen. I think we all know whenever you get that message on your phone, this is the IRS. We are going to shut down your bank account unless you call us. We know it's a scam.
Yes.
But that scam still works.
I know. Yeah.
And so you have to constantly have conversations about even fringe topics.
Let me tell you this real quick because I got scammed for 5Gs. It was 2 years ago now, but from my fucking Chase bank account, the guy called me and he said, I'm going to send, he's like, we noticed some fraud on your account. Are you in California? And I was like, no, I'm not in California. I'm in Colorado. What are you talking about? He's like, oh, we had some charges in on your bank. We're going to have to shut it down. I'm with the Chase fraud department. I'm going to send you a code. I want you to read me that code. And this is what Chase does. They tell you sometimes, I'm going to send you a code. But what he did was at the same time, he's trying to log into my account, My account was asking him for a code. They sent my phone that code, and then I told him the code because it was two different. There's two different reasons why they would send you a code, and I didn't see that it was for a change of a password. He changed the password on my account, got in, sent himself $5,000, and luckily that's all they took. Chase gave me the money back, which was cool, but like the best of us. Look at me, I'm like, I got scammed. I'm that guy.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was talking about. I took a program. They fucked me up, dude. I had to.
Do you want to tell us the name of the program?
No.
Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you, it could be any of them.
Right. I joined a program also.
It depends on what you go in there for.
It's not Landmark, right? Probably not Landmark. Shut up.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I did that. Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, it wasn't Landmark. I've been through so many courses and I found a lot of value in them. And hey, I like to take blame for my part. And so it could have been the way that I went into the program. And let's just say that that's what it was. Me going through that activated my reticular activating system, which means like, hey, you bought a Tesla, so now every time you drive somewhere, you notice the abundance of Teslas on the road. So because I went through this process, I was able to see other people going through the process because I recognized that it existed. And so I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to tell anybody to not join programs, but it's important that when you go into them, that you're not brainwashed. That, like, for instance, let me tell you this. Last Saturday, I was in beautiful San Diego, California, and I took a barbell certification. And I didn't take the barbell certification to become a barbell coach. I took the barbell certification to help with my core, my Steel Mace Flow practice. And so I went into the thing with an objective and boundaries and things that I wasn't willing to pass off. I'm not willing to hear somebody's timeshare scam. If you say, hey, you want to talk timeshares? I'm going to leave the room. No matter whatever I was there for, I got that information, and then once you start laying on the shit, I know that what it is, that I don't have to participate, and I don't have to be involved in it. And so, verify your, whoever this coach is, make sure that they've helped some people, and ask them about the people they didn't help. No coach has helped 100% of the people. Can you please give me an example of some of the people that you weren't able to serve, that did not make it through your program, that found it not to be effective?
They were resistant to the program. They just weren't willing to open up and do the steps necessary.
I smell that shit. I smell that shit too. Your eyes are brown. Your eyes are brown. I smell it. It's coming out of your nose.
They walked in with the wrong attitude. See,
hey, it could be, but I refuse to believe that every coach is perfect.
No, of course,
I refuse to believe that everybody's program is perfect. And so if you can't give me an honest answer about that, then, I'm probably going to move on to the next one.
Well, I'll tell you this, and Corey, my friend Corey, a bunch of my friends went to this Landmark. We all went. Landmark is some kind of self-help rehabilitation group therapy course. And wow, I worded that pretty well, actually. And you go there and you're in a group, but you're delving into your like childhood trauma, fears, trying to get past it so that you can move on with your life.
I hate it already. Keep going.
And I went in with a relatively open attitude about it because my friend had gone through it and he was really hyping it up, and I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna go. But I went with another friend, and he kind of went in with a decent attitude, but right away when they started asking him like to take responsibility for his part in whatever trauma there was, he was like, from that point on, he was just like, fuck this course, this is stupid. But we stayed there for 2 more days, and I was like, It was weird. I ended up getting a little bit of something out of it. I don't remember what it was, but the next thing you know, though, of course, they want you to sign up for the next course, which is twice as much money, and it's going
Twice as much.
make you. But I was like, I'm good. I think I got what I was going to get. I'm not doing that again personally. A couple of my friends went back.
So the childhood thing.
Mhm.
I'll get into it real quick
Yeah.
because I hate this one, man. Do you know where I got my hairline from? My parents.
Your dad.
Yeah. Okay, so what else? What else did I get from my parents? Hey, you know that emotional trauma I got? Guess where I got it from? Parents.
For sure.
Okay? We all know that shit. Any problem that I have, if I wanted to talk about it long enough and look into my past and into my childhood, I could probably associate it with my childhood, some trauma. So why the fuck do we need to go down that road if we already know that? Why are you picking at old scabs? Why don't you just fucking move past it? I saw this person. This was the thing that really broke the camel's back for me. I had this friend who was a solid individual, went through this course. They took my friend through they brought up a bunch of horrible memories that my friend moved past years ago. My friend's flourishing, they're doing great, and then they got into this course, paid thousands and thousands of dollars, and then asked her to share all the demons, asked them to relive all the emotional trauma. What kind of coach wants you to go through that? Why on earth would you take somebody who's moved past that and put them back in the place or in that place?
Right.
And then the course ended 2 weeks later. They got my friend as if it was a beehive, shook it up, got it as frenzied as they could, and said, breathe and journal. And breathe, journal, and meditate. Sit with your emotions. You want me to sit with my emotions after you just shook up the beehive? I can't stand that, man. It all comes from our childhood. I'm not into sitting with my emotions. I'm into moving through them and moving past them.
Mm-hmm.
I could totally remember my first memory as a child was domestic violence, and I could tell that story and I could relive it and I could let it shape me, or I could just move past it. And I think a lot of us as adults, we have moved past a lot of those things, and it's not so much finding. Sure, okay, hey, find out the reason or what. I mean, why? Why can't you just teach me the skill to be better now? Why do we have to go through that? And so it's one of my least favorite things to go through in any of these courses. And I kind of brought up the pillar principles of just about any of these courses. I don't care what course you've been to. If you've been to one like this, they're going to tell you to journal,
Mm-hmm.
to meditate, and to eat better. They're going to teach you how to talk to yourself. They're going to teach you how to talk to people. And this is through all the courses I've taken. I've taken a lot of courses.
Yeah.
And these are the things that they all want you to do. Just that basic practice. So what I've come to figure out is you can take those things and package them and put your coaching name on there. And in fact, you could probably help somebody out with those things. But diving into like, hey, tell me your worst childhood memory. I actually want you to write it out. And then I want you to read it out loud as slow as you can to me.
Ugh. That doesn't sound nice.
No. But it hurts. But what do you think you feel after you go through that? Do you think you feel better, or you just think you feel relieved? It's kind of like getting a tattoo. Getting a tattoo hurts. Okay?
Yeah.
And then when you get done, you feel like you accomplished this amazing feat. You're euphoric. But it's because you're out of pain that they just put you through. You don't just walk into tattoo shops and look around and then automatically have that glow. No, they got to fuck you up first. They got to drill on your skin for hours and hours with with a tattoo gun,
A
a
needle.
needle gun, a fucking needle gun, scarring your skin, putting ink in you, and then you feel better afterwards. Of course, somebody's gonna feel better
It's like
afterwards.
being in a
So
vice, and then they release the vice, and you're like, oh, I feel great now.
you know what? Even with my friends who are into these types of practices and these types of course, when I have these conversations with them, they roll their eyes. Hey Leo, you want to go? I'm going to take this course this week. Why? So they can tell me to journal. They're going to tell you to journal and breathe, man. They're going to tell you breathe. They're going to tell you journal. They're going to tell you to sit with your emotions. Why am I going to go to another course to say that? It's part of the practice. Yeah, part of it.
Well, okay, so there are other medicines, if you will, which,
Sure.
I mean, obviously, I was a soldier. I was in Iraq. I know a lot of guys with PTSD, and I follow sort of the therapies that correlate to that problem.
Yeah.
And there was a movie that we sponsored called From Shock to Awe, where these guys went through trauma and then they took like ayahuasca and things like that to deal with those traumas. And the wife she didn't want to do the ayahuasca because of the vomiting and whatnot, so she did MDMA. Now, I could see maybe if you're having issues, if you're already good, why the fuck go back and revisit it? But if you're going to go back and revisit it, like they're saying, having the MDMA treatment so that you can relook at the occurrence from some kind of perspective of love and forgiveness and this and that, and but just like putting people in that space and then sending them off into the world without any kind of real resolution, obviously, is gonna probably like manifest some more issues. Maybe.
Well, yeah, a big issue that you will run into in those practices is addiction. Got a soldier, got PTSD. His love language with his wife isn't working. They go to the doc, the spiritual doc, whatever. They find a doc. Doc says, take some MDMA, see how you feel. Okay. Well, if you take an MDMA, you know how you feel. You feel amazing. All the problems in the world go away. And so what you learned is that, hey, if you take this, you feel better.
Good point. Very good point.
Very.
Yeah.
And so with all the medicines, I just did some, I don't know, can you see them? My burns?
Yeah. Okay, I think I know what that is.
Yeah, I did some combo.
It's a frog
I did some
thing.
combo. It's
Talk
like
to me.
some frog excretion that warriors used to use back in the day before they'd go fight and hunt jungle people. It would improve their eyesight, make them faster, stronger. And there's a bit of purging involved when you put this, what feels like poison. You put this poison on your burns. And I had somebody administer the practice, so I didn't do it myself. But it's addicting. That feeling of being on jungle warrior medicine it's addicting. DMT. You could go talk to the gods, all of them, even Jesus. It's addicting, and so you have putting medicines in the practice. You have to go to the right people. I recognize I'm an addict, and so whenever I introduce myself to any practices or medicines, I know that going in. And I wasn't always an addict, but what happened was somebody gave me something, and it made me feel better, and so I became an addict. And so if you're going to start taking medicines and doing ayahuascas, and you should have something figured out as to how easily you're addicted. You should look at past things that you got into. Are you a person that can just dabble in stuff, or do you have to go all the way in? Because if you're one of these, I'm all the way in, if people, and the doctor gives you MDMA, you you might go all the way in.
Hmm.
And so you need to, you need to be careful.
Well,
I know that's
what?
some cliche advice, but
Be
it's
careful.
the advice old as time. But yeah, you can't do stuff half-hearted and without all of the information, their information mixed with your information. Yeah.
I mean, because if these medicines, and this is to agree with you, mostly actually is, because they say they're healing, but if they're so healing, then why do these people have to
Nope.
keep going back
Nope.
and
They're
back?
not. We just talked about it.
I
No one's
know,
healed.
I know
No one's healed.
exactly. Yeah, and
So is it a
even
mask?
it's a.
Is it a Band-Aid?
I don't know.
Is it a cast?
Well, you've done psychedelics, you've done mushrooms, and
Sure.
sometimes you do get that like reborn feeling, and you quit smoking, and you didn't. I don't think you ever smoked,
Yes.
but maybe you
Mhm.
do certain things for about 2 weeks, maybe, or not even like 3 or 4 days, and then you just
Mhm.
go back to your normal ways, pretty much. That's what
Yeah.
I've experienced.
Yeah, it happens. And the conversation with me has always got the two sides of the coin. I talk about these things because I have experience in them, and not just bad experiences. I've had very good experiences. Speaking of my combo session,
Yeah. Tell me
this is
more, please.
I've smoked the least amount of cannabis I've smoked in the last, what's a decade? 10 years?
Yep.
Yeah. This is the least amount of cannabis I've smoked in the last decade.
Wow.
I don't know if it was from the medicine, um, but yeah, there's a thing definitely happening to me, a
You look very
positive thing.
white-eyed, and and I'm, I have you and I have the same thing with the marijuana. I smoke all day, every day, basically, and that's one of my last major crutches, for the most part. And I was thinking about doing the ibogaine, and you've heard of that, right?
Yeah, let me tell you about my my smoking deal.
Tell me, please.
Yeah, because I don't want to quit smoking cannabis. I love it.
Me too.
But I do. I mean, I'm all day, every day. Every day is Friday, and I smoke a lot. Once I start, I don't stop. If I smoke in the morning, I smoke till I go to bed. And I met a girl.
Ooh,
I met this cool girl, and
love the girls.
sure.
Well, the ladies.
I was talking to the girl, and I said, "Man, I haven't smoked weed all day." It just kind of came out. I just thought, "Oh shit, I haven't smoked all day." And she asked why, and I said, "Oh, I'm happy. I'm just very happy." And I like to be happy, and I don't want to mask how happy I am. Instead, I'd rather be present at how happy I am. I've got the coolest job in the world. I've got the coolest dog in the world. I've got the best employees that anybody could ever have. I've got my dream car. I live in the place of all places that I'd want to live. I have an awesome apartment. I've got toys. I got all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I want to be present for them. And that wasn't from a life coach. That wasn't from a course I took. It wasn't from the frog medicine or the ayahuasca or I'm happy, man, and things are working in that, and however you want to define working. Yeah, so yeah, there you go. I can't relate the all the happiness just to meeting the person, but Leo Savage is this name that I was gave by a group of men I was training in Albuquerque. They started calling me Leo Savage, or they just called me Savage. And it was the first time, Robert, I had a cool nickname. Like usually I was like Tiny or Skinny or Huerito, or I had all these like shitty nicknames that were basically insults. And so then I started getting called Leo Savage. And I thought, man, that's such a cool nickname. And I, as I was evolving, I started to turn into the Savage. I started to turn into the Savage, and I said, okay, what is Leo Savage? How does he operate? And it was based around what makes me happy. What makes me happy? I'm going to do those things. This character of Leo Savage is going to do the things that make him happy. And titles are titles make people react. And so if people call you Leo, I was calling myself Leo Savage, so I started doing savage things. And then as my base got bigger, my name got bigger, more people were calling me Leo Savage. And I started to believe what they thought Leo Savage was, which wasn't necessarily what I thought, but at times I found myself acting the way people expected rather than the reason why Leo Savage was created, to make me happy. I was being Leo Savage to make other people happy. And I had this moment where, and it was this year, where I said, I don't want to be Leo Savage, because in the context that Leo Savage is operating now, I am being an imposter.
Mm-hmm.
Not an imposter to take advantage of anybody, but like
To
I said,
yourself.
I was. And so, last year I decided I was going to retire Leo Savage and just feel what it was like to not live that expectation, whether it was self-imposed or from the outside. And I was in limbo, man. I was just stuck. I think we can relate to this. Like, you start building your name and your brand, and then you say, like, am I really the person who should be doing this? I don't
Yeah,
have the
imposter
doctors.
syndrome. Yeah.
I don't have the letters behind my name, but I'm taking people through, transformative experiences.
Dude, I will
Uh,
attest, anyone listening, Leo is a
yep.
great coach. As far as explaining how to utilize the mace to maximum level, like you got that, the vernacular down, but also, you have more. It's not just about the mace. There's more like life lesson, sort of motivational, inspirational teachings that come along with it. I just wanted to give a little plug for you because I really appreciate what you
I
do.
appreciate that. But so this, and I'm glad you said that, because I stopped recognizing that. I was really having a hard time figuring out who I was in, like, these two realities of Leo Savage, what I thought and then what the people thought. And even though I am the world's best Steel Mace Flow coach, I had a
With that.
hard time seeing it. I had a very hard time seeing it. And I retired um, that ego, that self-image, and yeah, and then I was like, yeah, I'm just Leo Urquidez, and I didn't like that either. Because the truth is that Leo Savage is the person that I turned into to champion this movement art,
Mm-hmm.
and with that became the opportunity to help more people than I could have ever dreamed of. And so I had something I wanted to be what I didn't want to be. I don't know if that sits or hits with anybody. And I did some soul searching. I spent maybe the last 6 months committing to making myself happy. And the part of the part that I was missing in not being Leo Savage was the opportunities to help people transition into happiness. And I wasn't happy not being Leo Savage, but being have stepped away from what was happening. I was able to take inventory of the things that I really wanted and the things that I didn't want. And uh, I, s- I went back. Robert, you're not supposed to go back, man. You're supposed to keep moving forward.
Yes,
But
or be
the
present.
biggest success I made this year was going back, cutting out
Since
all the bullshit, how the money changed me, how the people's point of view changed me, how I changed myself through those two avenues. I just took myself back to when I was the happiest. And I created boundaries around that soul. And I'm happy as fuck, man. I'm so
wow,
happy to be Leo Savage, the authentic version of Leo Savage. And I realized that when time changes, I have the opportunity to change, and it might not always be the best. And so constantly me checking my ego and the reality of who Leo Savage uh, is an important lesson I learned through this process. And a lot of the conversations I have now are to open up your eyes, their eyes, because we want help and we want to have help from people. And one of the best ways to help yourself is to stay yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. There's
but
nothing wrong with you. We can do stuff. We can get the teeth fixed. All right. We can get the hairline restored. All right. I mean, but there's nothing wrong with you, man, or anybody who's out there. And you don't need to change, but you're welcome to improve your relationship with being happy.
happiness.
Be
Yes.
happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Ooh, ooh,
Ooh,
ooh,
ooh,
ooh.
ooh,
You know that song?
ooh, 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 ooh,
Be happy now.
ooh. Yeah,
There's a lot of truth to that, man.
Bobby something. His name
Bobby
was
Digital? I don't know.
Bobby Green. I had an interesting conversation, and we're coming up to the end ish, but I did want to ask because I'm pretty happy,
Good.
and but so like now what? Like we're successful. We made it. You're at the top of your profession. There's nobody
Mm,
higher than you
mm,
in what you do in the whole
mm.
world. And I attest to that as a witness. I'm up there in the underwear realm amongst my peers. I'm in the game we're doing well. Now what? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, just hearing you say that, man, it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy to, anytime you have any bit of success, I celebrate it. It makes me happy. And so, yeah, the practice now should be cultivating that happiness. I mean, that's my mission now. Is if it doesn't make me happy, it doesn't serve me. And if it doesn't serve me, I try and stay away from it. There's some things that aren't that you can't avoid,
right.
and whatever. But if I do everything in my power to be happy, when I run into one of those uh, obstacles, impasses, hurdles, I know my goal is to be happy. And so I get to look at whatever that is from a lens of like, okay, well, what's going to fill my heart and make me the happiest? But hey, I'll be real open and honest. I am worried about what would happen to me if I made Lamborghini money. I'm worried. Just
Why?
realizing that having a little bit of extra money in my pocket has changed the way I react to problems.
Mm-hmm.
Man, like I get it. I get why John Jones fucked up and did all his crazy shit because
Mm-hmm.
it changes you.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. And I only had to deal with it at a small level. Um, but man, like my support system is unreal, Robert. And it was through my support system that I was able to see the conflicts I was creating because it affected the people I loved,
Mm-hmm.
or the people that I loved, not the people that, yeah. Um, yeah, build happiness and,
I mean, okay, so if money was no
yeah,
object, what
okay.
would you do every day?
Exactly what I do. Let me tell you what I do every day.
Talk to me.
Do you know when I wake up? When I want to.
Yep.
And then when I get up, this has changed a little bit. I smoke a joint. I go to my favorite coffee store in the whole world, Summer Moon Coffee in Austin, Texas on First Street. I take my French Bulldog Butter with me. We take my dream car and we go get coffee. We say hi to people. I go to my favorite place in the world, the On It Academy. It's a gym. It's my favorite place in the world. And I create beautiful movement. I record it. I publish it on my Instagram or my YouTube. And it makes me super happy. It's pretty simple. And I eat a steak every day.
Wow.
That makes me super happy, but that's my routine.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to establish a routine that is the thing your wildest dreams are made out of. I know that doesn't seem like the craziest, most wild dream in the whole world, but for me it was at one time. And so I have a routine, but on top of that, I have a practice of making people happy. Just reaching out to people,
I agree with that.
telling them I care about them, and so that's been what works for me. Robert, I don't know what to do for you, man, but I would say that if you had all the money in the world, the thing that would make you happiest is like when your brother gets to upgrade from the financial gains you guys have made. Like when your wife buys you a Tesla. I mean, oh no, that doesn't. That says, but as you help people that are near and dear and closest to you, that's the thing that will fill your heart up. And just like you talked about, like money can only take you so far as happiness is concerned. But I never get tired of it, man. I never get tired of making people happy or smile. Uh, yeah, so being of service is essential, and creating happiness with around you and basking in it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I would end on that note, but I do have another question because
All right.
it's been a while. And the reason you moved to Austin was to get involved with On It in the academy. And I saw you made the page not too long ago. I'm sure you've been on there quite a few times.
Oh, yeah.
And that was cool to see. I was like, that's why he went there. So he did that. But are you, there was that other guy, Eric, and
Yeah.
is there what's going on with the other Steel Mace instructor and you and the whole situation?
What's going on with the other Steel Mace instructor and me? Man, you know what? Robert? Nobody has had the balls to ask this question. They asked me in the back, like when in the back alley when we're alone. Nobody has the. God bless your balls, man. I'm just going to say that. I'll tell you what happened. For those of you guys who don't know, there's another mace company called Viking Ninja, and their leader's name is Eric Meeland. And for dramatic effect, I'm just going to say we are arch enemies. Arch enemies.
Yes.
Such a cool word. You know why that is?
Why?
Because we're so much alike.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me the other day. I am so fucking proud of Eric. First of all, and I'll get into that a little bit. But he doesn't like me. He doesn't like Steel Mace Flow, and I attribute that because we have so much in common that he probably sees his errors in my ways just as much as as vice versa. Eric put out a campaign of no flow zone. instructing his people not to flow. And I had friends, I had this group of friends that had been my friends for years, and we supported each other, and we were good friends. And then one day Eric said, you I don't know what was said, but everybody that wanted to be involved with Viking Ninja turned their back on me. 100% stopped supporting me, started using the no flow zone hashtag. And it was fucking brutal, man.
Whoa.
It's a lot of reason to not like somebody. Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of other little pesky, irritant things in there that could really make me not like or could make somebody not like somebody. But yeah, like I said, I see a lot of Eric in myself, whether he identifies with that or not. And so I've learned a lot from him, and I keep up with him. And here's what I know about Eric. I know he's extremely passionate. I know that what he is doing is probably not to hurt anybody. There might be a little, take that, Leo. But what he's doing is he's trying to protect people based on his vision of what he sees fitness as. And so I can't fault somebody for doing that. And I respect him. He just signed, he had a Viking Ninja team. I think he got rid of his Viking Ninja team and started working for this other company called TacFit. And TacFit and Viking Ninja just teamed up and taught a Steel Mace certification, not a flow certification, but a Steel Mace certification. And there were like 60 people in this thing, dude. I keep up. And I was so proud of him that he's got these 60 students that just got certified in a thing that I absolutely love. I love it. I'm so happy that the students have a practice and a teacher, and it's the goddamn pandemic, and the Mace has helped out it has helped so many people stay in touch with themselves, their physical selves, and then the spiritual side of it. There is something spiritual about moving a mace around. And I keep up with Eric. I'm proud of him. I recognize that what he's doing is not to hurt anybody, but to lift people up. And so I'm in this weird position where people, when they show me conflict, they think they're helping me. So if somebody says something bad on social media about Steel Mace Flow, you better believe one of my Instagram people are going to send it to me like they're doing me a favor, like they're winning sides. So I hear everything. If you're one of those people, don't send me any of that shit. Okay. But somebody sent me this thing the other day, and it made me super happy, just like most of Eric's posts. It was TacFit has this program called Flow Fit. And in Flow Fit, you connect emotion with movement. It's a calisthenics program, but they encourage you to find flow. The highest mental state that you can be in a physical practice, flow state. Somebody from Instagram sent me a photo of Eric, the no flow zone guy, and he was doing the Flow Fit program. And it made me smile super big that my arch nemesis, the guy who doesn't like flow, doesn't like Steel Mace Flow, he's teaching flow. And so there's been some healing there. There's been some personal growth in Eric's relationship with what is just a simple word, flow. And flow is described as beast mode, as being in the zone. There's all these different contexts of what flow is. And so it made me super happy to see Eric continuing his work, and not just with Steel Mace, but like within himself. And hey, that's just the story I'm telling myself. I I don't know what the story is on that side of the field, but um, I'm happy about it. I'm super happy about it.
Well, whatever he's doing, even if he's saying no flow zone, that promotes your business. And in anytime he's teaching classes, that's also having a good competitor like another underwear company is that another pouch underwear company. People might be scared. Oh no, it's another pouch underwear company. They're going to take your business. They're drawing more attention to the Steel Mace, which is going to draw more attention to you. And
Yep.
so, and if you were both doing the same thing, then that would be lame too. So the fact that you both have your own thing, I think is good. I do think there's a
Agreed.
little bit of fear. I don't know. That's just my own assessment, but that's irrelevant to the whole fact. I like the way you're looking at it, which is from a very positive vantage point. And, it can only help more people.
Right? And yeah, just to end that kind of conversation there, I'd love and have reached out to Eric and his Viking Ninja team several times in message, in direct to phone, in message, and Instagram. But I've never stopped my quest to, like, let's just fucking get over it, man. We're both doing some great work.
Well, I remember, and we'll get over it too, but like you and I both went to his course, so it's not like you were never, it was always one-sided kind of as far as the support and lack of support as goes, but maybe he'll come around, and if he doesn't, that's
man, time heals all, and I have all the belief in the world that as the hairs get gray and the muscle density starts to fall off and all you're left is with your heart, your soul, and your memories, you'll probably do everything you can to uplift those attributes that you have left. And man, Eric, if I ever well, I don't want to say if I ever, but I apologize for any of the negative communication or feelings between us, and I'd love to do the work to patch that up. And
bury the hatchet and
of course
move on. And that'd be, I would love to see that, and I think we will see that in time.
I'm with that.
So I want to respect your time. Thank you very much for coming on. That's great catching up. I want to do it again. Now I'm like, fuck, why haven't we done this in so long? But it also made it that much more special to talk to you.
Man.
So thank you. Thank you everyone for listening. This is Leo Savage. He's everywhere. You can find him online. And go to one of his courses. It'll make you a better person. And it's fun.
It will.
It will. That's it. I don't have anything else to say about that.
That's it.
You got anything? Right, you can say words.
Yeah. You guys make sure to check out steelmaceflow.com so you guys can, we can learn a little bit more about what I'm teaching. And if you're looking to get certified in Steel Mace, I've got coaches all over the world who speak all the different languages. It really has turned into a global event of moving with emotion. I couldn't be any happier. We have a level 1 and level 2 course, and life's good, man. Wearing sheath underwear every day, rocking it. Robert, I'm gonna leave, but I gotta tell you one of my favorite stories.
Yes.
I'm at the On It gym with the bros. I'm hanging out with all the bros, and these two girls, Austin girls. The women of Austin, as they're called. They're walking up to me and the bros, and they're looking at me. And we're at On It, by the way.
Of course.
And they walk up to me and they say, "Hey, are you the..." And I already know what they're going to say. "The Steel Mace guy? You'd like some lessons?" Of course. But that's not what they said. You know what they said, Robert? They said, "Are you the sheath underwear guy?" In front of my bros.
Nice.
So it was like just a really fun story for the ego, and I thought it'd bring a smile to your face, as it does mine whenever I tell it. So, my friend, I love you. Please tell the wife I said hi. Please tell your daughter I said hello, and then Sheath Nation, thank you for your support, and we'll catch you guys next time, huh?
For sure. That was fun. All right, people.
Yeah, man.
We're out of here.